Welcome to She Means Business, Building and Scaling with Visionary Women, the podcast where bold ideas find success. Hosted by Dr. Myrrh Satow, a successful entrepreneur. Each episode dives into the journeys of trailblazing women who have turned their dreams into thriving businesses. From startups to scaling success, these female founders share their stories, struggles, and strategies to inspire and empower women to chase their own dreams. Whether you're just starting out or ready to take your venture to the next level, this podcast is your guide to breaking barriers and redefining leadership. Let's rise together.
Welcome to another episode of She Means Business. I'm so excited about our guest today, you guys. We have an awesome guest. Welcome, please, Sairan Aqrawi. Sairan is a wonderful engineer and innovator. She's a business strategist. She has lots to share with us today about her journey into the world of leadership and entrepreneurship and all of the things that she's been up to. Welcome, Sairan. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you so much, Myrrh, for having me at your lovely podcast.
We're thrilled. We're just thrilled and honored to have you here. So I just want to jump right in and have you just start talking to us a little bit about what it is you do and a little bit about your journey. And so I'm going to turn it over to you for a minute to talk about what you do and just get us started.
Yes, thank you, Myrrh. So basically, I'm still a full-time engineer. I've been engineer for the past 30 years. That's telling you I'm old. I've been graduated 100 years ago, and I went back to school in 2017, and I obtained my master's degree in system integration from George Washington University. And I feel like I was all pumped up. I was like, yay, master's degree. I'm smart. I'm great in math. Let's do doctor also. So I started my doctoral program in 2018, and right at the first semester at my doctoral program, the school contacted me and they asked me if I am able to speak with the younger undergrad girls, speaking about engineering and how is life in engineering after you graduate, the workforce, what they should expect after they graduate. So I was like, okay, let's give it a try. After I spoke with those younger ladies, the head of the department of the women engineering came back and she said, oh my God, they loved you as a mentor, as a speaker. You happen to be a coach. And I didn't even know back then in 2018, there is something called life and business coach. I was like, what she's talking about? I said, do you mean an athlete coach? She said, no, not at all. I said, because I was a swimming coach in my 20s. She said, no, I'm speaking about someone who guide others to reach their goals, which is called life and business coach. She made me curious. I start searching the ICF for the mentorship and coaching license. I put my doctor in freezer, it's still in the freezer, and I never looked back. I start a small business, and the rest is history.
It's amazing. I love to hear other women's journeys, and yours is so unique. I love that you are really, truly a pioneer in engineering. You're a woman pioneer, and you've been doing this for a while. And what are all the things that you're currently doing right now? I know you're working for the Washington Transit Authority. You're a lead on a project there. So you're kind of all over the world, aren't you, doing projects in engineering and attending so many conferences on leadership, and you've got your hand in so many things. Talk to us about some of your side hustles.
Yes, I feel being an effective in any profession, medicine, medical, engineering, tech, any discipline, you want to master it. And being an engineer, I graduated my bachelor from Middle East. When I came to United States in 1997, I knew that I have to go back to school in order to understand the nature of engineering and the technology here in the United States. So you cannot be, going back to your question, you cannot master something if you don't gain entire skills in the subject matter. Meaning, I was a civil engineer, but my master was system integration because I worked for the transit agency. But before joining the transit, I did all kind of engineering. When I was younger, boots on the ground, I did survey, I did construction, I did inspection, I did, all kind of discipline of engineering from the bottom up. Then I started designing. I was in a small designing company here in Northern Virginia. Then I joined L3 Communication, which is 2007. We were like the third after, I think, Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman. We built the communication towers at the Mexican border. So I
Wow.
was part of that project called SBI Net. So we were securing the border between United States and Mexican. And that project, that job particularly, um, it made me who I am today. It was so
And
much
why? Why is
challenging.
that? How did it make you who you are today?
It shaped me in a way. How can I say it? First of all, it was away from where I lived. I live in Washington D.C. and I had to go to Arizona in order to do, during construction and Arizona degree. I mean, we were sweating like there is no tomorrow, right? It never bothered me sweating in the hot weather. I love it. But what's really challenging me that it was totally a different way to do engineering. It was from scratch. I have to represent everything precise and concise to our client, who happened to be Boeing company. And dealing with Boeing, you have to be ready like 24/7. You have to be very correct in everything, in numbers, in your analysis, and why you approve a certain design or why you rejecting a certain design. And other client, we were Homeland Security and the environmental agency from DC. So we always have to be ready for question. We had to do homework the day before. I had to be on site at 4:30 in the morning. It was not even sunrise yet, because we have to be right there before the contractor pouring the concrete. So it was such, I would not call it difficult. I'll call it was a challenging way to perform as an engineer. And that's go back to your question. Any job challenging you and make you uncomfortable, it form you and shape you the best way. Because if you just do a job that you are so good at it, you can close your eyes and doing it, you are not
You're not
evolving. You
growing.
are not growing. You are not
Yeah.
evolving. But if they threw you in a place, I still remember the first time I went to Arizona, my boss said, "You're gonna go there and you're gonna just listen and answer any question." I thought that's a punishment, but now I have to thank him for the rest of my life, because he put me in a place. Everybody in that room was higher up than me. They were having fancy title, fancy degree, more credential than me, and here I am in my theory trying to represent, a company called L3. So I was uncomfortable in the beginning, but the more I done the activity, I become so good at it, and I start training the younger engineers. So I feel doing any profession, if you are comfortable, I don't think you're going to go anywhere. You have to be so uncomfortable in order to touch those areas that scare you to death.
I love that. That's so profound.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. I love that, and
Mhm.
I think that's so helpful to so many women out there who are thinking about starting their own business
Yeah.
or growing it or taking it to the next level and really embracing that change and those challenges. I think sometimes our best mentors and our best bosses are those that challenge us and throw things at us that they know that we can do, that we can achieve, even though it might be uncomfortable.
Totally.
How do you sort of customize your coaching methods for clients, but also for those maybe who work for you, your staff, your colleagues? How do you sort of tailor your coaching methods to meet the different needs and meet those different challenges to help others grow maybe the way you have?
Yes, customizing is like, as we know, no size fit all, and that's applied to business and work. So if you have a team of three engineers, don't expect all three they are doing the same task you assign to all of them, because there is weakness and strength in each one of them. So as a team lead, you have to really, really listen to your team member and knowing what is they really thrive at. What some of them they like hands on, might they want to be on the factory and fix things by their hands. Some of them they like research. Some other engineer like automotive and AI and AutoCAD and ribbons, and they are very good on computer. So as someone who's been seasoned professional for 35 years, I have to know the person in front of me who's a younger engineer, what they really enjoy. Do they really enjoy surging? Great. I put them and study and surging stuff. Do they really want to be on the field? Great, send them to the field, do construction and do activity. Same thing with business, Mara. So in business, it's the same thing. If you have a client, either you're coaching or mentoring, which is totally two different things, you have to see what they really want to go. You want to be so clear with that client, meaning clarifying to them what is coaching about and what is mentoring about, because they come to you and they think you are the magician. You're going to solve all their problem. Guess what? Even though that I'm an ACC, I'm a certified coach, I'm not able to solve all client problems. That's not my intention. That's not my duty. The solution, it's on the client head, and they have to say it by their mouth. They have to say it in their own words, right? I cannot put the solution in their brain and say, "Oh, say this is the way how you can do it." You have to guide the client from A to B in a way, kind of like challenging them with a question. Keep asking them question. Oh, you are here in order to achieve what? And go back to the main goal from the beginning. Because some client, they tend to come to the session and they just vent. They vent about their daily life, about their husband not helping, and cooking and kitchen and cleaning, about their kids who are not a student, about their friend who they don't ask about them, about family member. And I keep reminding them after they speak for 10 minutes, I said, I understand this is challenging, but remember, you hire me as a coach or a mentor in order to have a certain outcome. You have a goal to achieve. We are not friends here in a coffee shop venting about our daily life. We might be later when we build a rapport and have a relationship together after the coaching session end. But I am here for a purpose. I am guiding you from A to reach your B, to the outcome or the
Well,
goal.
I really want to peel back the layers of a couple things that you said and dig a little deeper into those. It sounded to me almost like you strive to identify the superpowers that your staff or your clients have, and you help them really shine in the areas that they love. And that helps them be successful. And for you, as almost like a coach versus a mentor, almost like a coach of a sports team, you have to know each of your players and what they each are great at and what their strengths are. And it sounds like you have a lot of insight into those relationships and those strengths and weaknesses, and you're able to place them into situations that will make them successful. Is that true?
Totally, and I refer that basically to what Jack Canfield speak about at his book, the Success Principle, Chapter 39, which I refer to the core genius or the hidden gem. Basically, when I speak with you as a client or even a team member, even if you are not an engineer, let's say we collaborating on a business. You are a podcast host and I am a speaker, and we want to do something together. My job is to go back and see what you really thrive at, what you really enjoy the most. And I call that your core genius. I call that your hidden gem. It's like a real gem,
I
right?
love that. I
And
love that.
and
It's a hidden
and
gem or a superpower.
a superpower. And actually, I think Robert Greene called it life purpose too in the mastery book, meaning
Yes.
each one of us have something we really master at. You see the painter who paint very nice, pieces. He don't even feel the sweat and the time. He just paint. That's what he loves to do. The person who speak very well, they love speaking. They born. This is the gift. This is their core genius. As a matter of fact, when I start my second niche about midlife women and finding the hidden gem about midlife women, I thought about my business card so many weeks and months. I was like, okay, if I do a business card and just put my credential, the engineer who know about strategy, and I will help you to coach. I said, no, I gotta find a way to make my business card so unique. So it's not a paper, it's a gem. It's a 2-in gem. I
I
think I
love it.
have it here somewhere. I can show it to you.
I love
Uh,
it.
so basically, it's like it's a crystal, like a gem. I ordered from Amazon. I think I have it here, if I'm not
Oh yeah, you
mistaken.
have to
Yeah,
show it to us.
yeah. And basically, it's and that's what's engineering mind kick again, and it's like
Look at that.
it's like a 2-inch, and
And that's your business card?
that's my business card. So
I
that's
love
basically
it.
Basically, when I go to speaking gigs, I give this away. I think this is $7 from Amazon. It's a blue crystal, it's a navy blue. And
So clever.
yeah, and I put my name here. See, the engineering mind is still kicked, even in the business. I don't want a
What a
paper, you're
perfect
going to toss
engineering
it.
business card. That's amazing.
Yes, because like the paper, you toss it away, you're going to think 10 times before you toss this in the trash. And I tell you why.
You are.
First is it's very nice to look at it. It's sparkly. It
It's
gives you kind of
beautiful.
like
You
motivation.
can put it on your desk.
Exactly. Put it on the paper. So what I said to the audience when I speak, I said, you go home, connect with me in LinkedIn, connect with me in Instagram, then just peel my name, throw it away. It's fine. Keep this beside your laptop or your computer. Every time you look at this hidden gem, ask this question. What is really that one thing I really enjoy doing when I was a teenage or in my 20, and I put it to sleep? I kind of like put it aside. I got married, I had kids, I went to college, I did my master, I'm still paying bills, day by day job. What is that one thing? It was like a gem inside me. Let me remember, oh, I enjoy painting. Oh, I enjoy writing. Bring that hidden gem back to life. Bring
That's
it to the
so
surface.
beautiful.
Make it reborn again. And I normally do this with the midlife woman because being a woman in mid 50, I know when my kids went to college, I look back, I was like, now what? Right? Is that all? I'm done? No, I'm not done. I just started. 50, it's your start because you're done with pregnancy. You're not going to have more babies. They are on their own way. Either they are in high school, hopefully, or they're like mine in college. They are their own life. Now is your time. Bring that hidden gem, see what you really enjoy. And I knew mine was always, since I was in elementary school, it was solving problems. I always thought everybody's problem is my problem. Like even in college, when I was
Yeah.
writing back then, I mean, long time ago, when the professor or the teacher was giving us a lecture in engineering school, we take notes on piece of paper. And I have a nice handwriting. And the guys who sitting beside me, they were looking like I'm using red pen, then blue pen, and then I'm marker in yellow. Oh, can we borrow your class notes? So I was doing extra work on my class notes, thinking that's my responsibility. That class notes going to distribute it among all the 32 students in the class, and I have to do a very good job. So since then, when I was 18, 19, I thought my job is to make people not problems, but like reducing their struggle. So I was a coach long time ago. I was
It
a
sounds
mentor
like
long
it.
time ago, but I happened to be in engineering school, finishing tech, being an engineer, coming to United States, do my master, getting pregnant. So life takes you in waves, right? But you need to pause when the midlife happened and said, man and women, is that all what I need? Is that
Mhm.
all? Go to work and pick up a paycheck and have 2 vacations
Mhm.
in the year and take pictures and have a nice dinner? That's all? I don't think so. Life is full of adventure. Life is full of stuff. Life full of those hidden gems that you already have it. You just need to bring it out.
And so I love this so much. You talked about one strategy for locating your hidden gem is maybe thinking about the things that you loved as a teenager or in your early 20s. Are there other suggestions or tips that you have out there to find your hidden gem?
So I get this question a lot because the client come in front of me and they said, "We saw your Instagram that we see that you helping other coaches also to find their niche or niche. How? I don't have anything. I don't have any talent. I never liked to do anything. I was not into sport. I never loved to read book or write. I don't have any joy. I don't have any talent." Well, that's what you think at that moment because you are so busy. You
Yeah,
are so busy. We get so much notification around us. There is a noise, Mara, everywhere. There is noise even when you are in the room by yourself, you hear your phone notification. There is never a place that we call it um, a pause or a silent. And magic always happen at the silent moment. The magic happened when I dropped my doctoral and I asked myself a big question. Is that all what I need to do? Go to work, making good money as an engineer, life is good. I turned all the noise off around me. I didn't listen to my husband. I didn't listen to everybody wanted me to be a Dr. Akrawi. They want me to have my doctoral degree in engineering. Yeah, fancy, right? But that doesn't give me joy. I feel like I can do something way beyond the doctor, right? So I knew when I asked the question, I went to that pause, to that silent, and I said, I think I know what I want to do. I've been always having that passion to guide people, to teach people. And teaching is so powerful. When you teach someone to do something, the level of the fulfillment and the satisfaction you get, it's way beyond the money they pay you.
Absolutely. And I truly believe that when you're doing the thing you're passionate about is when you excel the most.
Yes. Yes.
100%. I
Yes,
love that.
you don't feel the time, you don't feel the effort. And you
Right.
kind of like same thing when you tell we pay ticket for a basketball player or attending a music concert. Those people, they were mastering, they are black belt and they're core genius. All they did in music or sport. We still pay a ticket to go and see their performance because they are practicing on and on their core genius. None of them they were master the first day. None of the speakers were the best speaker the first speech, right? I still remember when they put me on the stage to speak for the first time. I forgot my name. I was like, why I'm here? I mean, what is this engineer doing here speaking? Why I just don't go back to my comfortable zone and just solving equation and
Well, that's
design
interesting.
bridges? Yeah.
I wonder, do you think that you experienced something that many women do, maybe and men also, kind of a fear of success, or do I really deserve to be here? Or maybe not. I know some of us have experienced that, but maybe early in your career, did you ever experience that the way some women have, or maybe not? You seem incredibly confident and like you always knew exactly what you wanted all the
Yeah,
way through.
it wasn't like that in the beginning.
No.
Trust me. It was, I
Okay.
was sweating from my hands all over. It wasn't like that. It's come better with the aging. When you age,
Yes.
when you start doing it and you're 30 and 40, this is why I feel the 50, it's a really peak wisdom for a lot of women and
Mm,
men. Because by 50, you know that you don't seek that validation a lot. Because when we were younger in our 30 and 40, we always want the whole universe love us, everyone who meet us to be a friend. When you
right.
hit that 50, you'll be like, really? Is that what I need to do? No, you're going to be selective. You're going to be selective on your gathering. You're going to be selective in your networking. You're going to be selective in your friendship. Before you were just surging and learning, surging and learning. By 50, you have to know exactly what you want. I feel going back to your question, fearing from success, that's true. And also like asking your question, do I deserve the success? I'm an engineer, what I'm doing as a speaking. I will add to that also, I feel that most human beings, especially women with children who raise kids, we tend to be so harsh on ourselves.
Mm.
We manage to be diplomatic with the bosses. We manage to be diplomatic with colleagues. We manage to be diplomatic with in-laws, with friends, and we try to make the best communication with everyone around us. And when it's come to us to treat ourselves, to pat our shoulders, say, I did good, we are bully to ourselves. The worst critic and enemy, it's us to ourselves
That's so
because we are
true, and
very harsh.
I love that you use the word diplomatic with our
Yeah,
bosses and other folks.
yeah,
That's a very, nice way of putting it.
yeah,
I think we work very hard to be excellent
yeah,
communicators and to be
yeah.
fair, but
Yeah.
maybe not necessarily with ourselves.
Not with ourselves. And you always find it because we keep denying, like when something's stressing us or something bothering us, we swallow it and digest it, thinking, this is my responsibility. I have to take everything in. No, it's
Why
not.
is that? Do we learn that at home, or do we learn that in school? Are we not kind to one another as women? Do we need to try harder, do you think, to support and lift other women, or where does that come from?
I feel sometimes it's come from not having the ability to forgive ourselves. We forgive
Mm.
everybody except ourselves. We forgive the friend who did us wrong. Forgive the boss who did us wrong. And when it's come to ourselves, we made a mistake doing whatever, personal life or professional life. We tend not to forgiving ourselves. We are not cleaning that space in our brain. We are very harsh on ourselves, very harsh, and we think we have to be perfect, we have to be perfect at job, we have to be perfect in our business. I feel the joy and the happiness come from keep telling yourself, I am progressing, I am evolving, I am growing, like you said earlier.
Yes, that
And
positive self-talk is so
it's
critical.
very, very critical. And I get this question a lot in podcasts. They said, define success to us. And what do you think success to you? You are an engineer, you've done engineering, you've done everything, you did master, you did side business. What is success? And I never change my answer. I will never change my answer. Success is not having PhD degree. Success is not having a $5 million house. Success is not having a student. Success is not having a rich husband, handsome husband. These are all accessories. If you have it, great. To me, success is the energy that's make you keep going and progress. Meaning, look at your podcast now, comparing with the first podcast you did. You are successful if you are doing better now. I'm not asking you to go and compare yourself with Joe Rogan, the great podcaster, right? He is a Joe Rogan. He's been doing it for longer time. He has other, business. There's a lot of tools with him. You might get to his level, but I should not compare you with him now. You just started. But if I compare you, if this is episode 15, I compare you with opposite one or two. And if you are doing better, that's success because you are progressing. Those are small steps that you are going. Same
I
thing with
love that,
speaking.
and I think we have to celebrate all those small steps.
Yes,
I think that's very
yes.
important.
And that's what is keep you going. That's energy. Success is the energy, the continuous energy that keep you going because you kind of saying, I'm not doing great. If I'm a speaker, if I'm a small business and I open the Instagram or Facebook or any other social media and I compare myself with another lady who happened to be an engineer, who happened to start a side business like me, I'm going to be so discouraged and depressed by me comparing myself with her.
Yeah,
That should not even be on
you
the table.
can't. You
It should
can't.
not be on the table. That should not be even an option for you. Your option is I open the podcast I'm doing with you now and comparing with the one that I did 4 or 5 years ago. Oh my God, I didn't even know how to articulate my point because it was my first podcast, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now I still get like I have to prepare who's the host, what is the subject, what is it about? Is it about tech? Is it about small business, about midlife women? But it doesn't terrify me anymore. I feel this is like an open
Oh, you're
conversation, you
so
and me,
confident. I love it. I
just
love it,
me
and
and
you're
you talking and like that. It's
yeah,
mutual, right? But it
I
was not
love
the
it.
case the first one. You should see me the first one. I was like, I have a question mark on my face. I was like,
No, I don't believe it. You're so confident, and you're such a great role model for other women. So,
thank you.
we've talked about a lot of those sort of soft qualities that make you successful in business and as an entrepreneur and as a leader of a team. But I want to get into a little more about some of the sort of technical side and talk to us a little bit about how you help your clients and your team members sort of use data and leverage that to drive innovation and operational efficiency in their business or on your projects or things that you've done in the past.
It's a very good question. So data is very important. I think Renee Brown talked about the importance of data. She said, when we are lacking data, we are making assumption. If I come to you as a team member and if I assume you are not good in Excel sheet, you are not good in design, I'm making assumption. I don't have any data. I have to go back and see your previous performance, right? To see what you are unique at. And I have to leverage that and just assign those tasks to you. For example, let's say you are in the team and I look at the data in your previous project or task or things you have done before joining my team. It's all about designing in AutoCAD. You are so good in computer. You really enjoy touching those ribbon and changing and editing and putting layers on those drawings. I should leverage that. I should leverage that data that you have, the trend that you have in every job, and bring it to the life and utilize it. I should not look for the
Mm.
gap and point to you, oh, you are missing this. You are not a good communicator. You are not speaking enough at the conferences or at the
Yeah.
meeting.
Okay,
That's
so
not
I
what you're
really like
thriving.
that. I like that example because I'm thinking about the women out there who listen to the podcast, who are listening to us now, and they may be in other fields. So like you're a scientist, you're very data driven. I can see that and I can hear that in your words and your conversation and in your focus. I have that sort of scientific mind as a researcher, a person with a PhD, someone who's spent a lot of time in books and statistics and data. But there are lots of different types of businesses out there. You know, some of the folks on the podcast have been coffee shop owners, or they have owned small boutiques, or they come from all different walks of life, and so does our audience. So, but I think data is very important to every business owner. And to your point, not focusing on the gaps, but how do we use data to sort of drive our business to be better, to make us stronger, and to help us thrive? Do you have some practical ideas that we could get into, maybe for folks that maybe they're not scientifically minded? I know that's kind of a tough question, but I think there's a lot of people out there who maybe haven't, or maybe they're shy to use data to help grow their business, or they're shy to step into that.
Yeah, although the data is important, but as you mentioned earlier, you might be in a role. I have a client that I coach her, I think it was 2 years ago, 2023. And every time she come to the call, she had the same thing, telling me the same thing. She was in it was like a technology company in California, and she was telling me that she know everything about the job. She is very capable. She's a senior manager, but she's not happy. She feels she's not adding anything to the department. And it took me 5 6 sessions. I was not able to put my hands on what is really making her not happy or not having a joy at her job. And finally, together, when I was guiding her with, we keep peeling the onions and asking so many questions, I find out she's in a technology company, big, huge company. She was putting on those meetings, and her boss was asking her to elaborate on the task and talk about the project, kind of like leading the meeting. And she was a very shy, smart young woman. She was telling me that she was the kind of woman she don't want even to raise her hand to ask a question, and her boss was focusing, highlighting on the one things that she really hate the most. She was very smart, but she didn't want to speak up. So I was like, okay, but you know that, she said, I know everything they talk about. I'm aware of every technology they speak, but I'm not interested to talk about it. I'm not interested to
Mhm.
kind of talk about, like a saleswoman. We got this app. You better to show this app. Kind of like advertising or marketing for what they are discovering. And I said, then what you really enjoy? She said, I enjoy the research, the R&D, being researching on the book, on the report, going back to the old data, why this app didn't work 10 years ago, what was missing. I said, so you love to read? She said, I enjoy it. Leave me in the room, give me those books. I'm a researcher. I said, okay, so this is what we're going to do. Go back to the director of the department and ask him to give that speaking role, marketing role in the meeting every week to somebody else who enjoying it, and give you the task of researching, because your data, your previous jobs or successful project you have done, you always been the one behind the scene who's surging. She said, I was. She changed her role. She becomes so comfortable and she gained the joy back at her job. Same
I
department,
love it,
same
and
project.
I could see people maybe even flipping that concept, and maybe if data's not for them, maybe they hire that out or they source that out because it's
Yeah.
very important in everything we do in all aspects.
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about some of the challenges that you faced in Arizona and on the border there with that project. Can you describe any other moments or case studies where you transformed a significant challenge into a breakthrough opportunity for one of your clients?
So I'll pick up on the technology part because a lot of women, when I hear them saying this is a male dominant, I feel like we are using that word a lot. We exhaust
Okay.
that word. We don't need to say male dominant. You just want to be ready for that role. And this is not a field that we are announcing a war with male or men. Oh, I'm a war with him. I have to be better than him. It doesn't work like that. We are a team, right?
Yes.
So you just need to be side by side with men in order to deliver a successful project. So when I was younger in my engineering field, it was late 20, early 30, I thought just because I have a credential and I read all the book and I know how to design a building or a bridge, that's make me a master. I can go to any engineering, meeting and I can speak up about my book knowledge. And I am totally wrong. I was totally wrong because having the knowledge, the book knowledge is essential. It's very essential to know the bullet, the science, the data, like we spoke earlier. You need to know the book language, but you have to know how to communicate those knowledge to the audience, work wise and business wise. And I'll tell you what I mean about that. Being an engineer on my younger years, I thought just because I hold a degree, everybody else have to agree with my study, have to agree with my design, and everybody have to nod their head, said, "Oh, she's smart." That's not the case. When you go to those meetings, there's a lot of people who's going to challenge you, and you have to be so prepared in order to have that executive presence and being someone with show up as a confident with knowledge. So not only the book knowledge, I can go to the engineering meeting, say, "Hi, how are you? My name is Sairan. I have master degree in engineering." Nobody care what I have. Nobody care. Everybody have PhD degree and master degree now, right? What they care about how I am explaining my points, going back to the communication skills, how I'm articulating this point in a way that everybody will understand where I'm coming from. I should not bring up saying, I have this such and such credential, go and look at my LinkedIn. They don't care what you have in your LinkedIn. They care if you are capable or you are role model for your team. This is why you appointed to that task. So meaning, if I am in a conference or if I have them in the staff meeting, if I'm not able to explain where I'm coming from, nobody will learn anything from me. You cannot be a leader if you are not a role model yourself. You cannot call yourself black belt in something if you really didn't gain the skills to be a black belt. And that black belt doesn't come only with credential. It's come with
I love
action.
it. I
It's
love
come with
it.
action. It's come with failing, standing up, failing. I did it wrong, standing up, failing again, standing up. I can write book about my failing attempt. I can write a book about how many no's I got in interview. I can write a book about how many times I was wrong. But what does make me confident now and capable to enter any room? I do the homework. I'm always prepared. So when I go to that room, if you come across me and said, why you put 18-inch? I don't see the 18-inch. Engineering practice says 17.9. No, no, no. It's 18-inch because the manual book said such and such, section such and such say, and these are the example, and these are the fact. I will answer his question with fact, with date, with number. That's what is make you a black belt in your job.
A black belt. I love it. So this is so powerful, Sairan, what you're talking about. You've talked about communication, about being part of a team. You've talked about all these skills, but what I hear you touching on now so eloquently is this concept of resilience. And I want to spend just a minute on that, and I want to ask you about that. And how you build resilience in your team and how you develop it among the leaders that you coach, among the women leaders in your field or in other fields. And so how important, first of all, is it for leaders to build that resilience? How do you build that in your teams? And what strategies do you recommend to maintain confidence and direction in times of uncertainty?
I cannot teach you or guide you or coach you to anything if I don't have it. If you hire me for one purpose, saying gaining confidence, and I am someone who lacking confidence, don't expect me to be a good coach. I have to master it myself, right? I cannot give you something that I am lack, right? I don't have it. So how can I teach you to do that? What I do in my coaching session, and again, the client feel it right away. They say, we saw your LinkedIn, you are an engineer. Engineering keep popping up in our session. I said, it should. Because when you build, as let's say you're building a house, you're building the foundation, you're building the building at the top of the foundation, then you have the roof, which is protecting the house. Let's go back to which strategy I use in my coaching. I use the same metaphor. I build a house. I tell them your foundation is clarity. When you come and hire me as a mentor or a coach, I want you to be clear. You have to have a clarity where you're heading. Don't come and venting about 15 subjects at one time and expecting me to solve all your personal problems in one session. I'm not a magician. I'm not a magician in this business. I'm someone who's guiding you, who I guide myself before to be a tech woman and having a side business. So I already have the skills. So I know what I'm talking about. But first, I tell the client, you have to be clear where you're heading. Clarity is your foundation. If you are not clear, if the foundation it's not good, the whole building will collapse, right? So your clarity is your foundation.
How
Then
do you attain that clarity, though?
it's not overnight things. I have to be
I
honest
think
with
it's
you.
challenging for some people.
Yes, because we think that we can be everywhere. Clarity meaning it's like a GPS. When you put that address, that's a clarity. You're putting the GPS on that location, the restaurant, you've never been there. The GPS will telling you, the navigator telling you, either you're taking the highway or you take the back road. That's a clarity. You can be on both roads at the same time to get to that restaurant. Because when you put the address on your navigator on the car, it's telling you the direction. That direction is clarity to get to your destination. That's what you need in your life. You cannot be in 15 road to get to that restaurant. You only heading one road to go to that restaurant, right? When you arrive to that restaurant, you gaining clarity again. You decided you're going to have a fish today. You're going to have everything on the menu? I don't think so. You were clear today is your seafood day. So you're going to order a fish, right?
I love
You're
it.
not
I
going to
love it.
order everything on the menu. So when you are clear, your action is more vivid and more tangible because you are clear. If I decided to be on your podcast today at lunchtime, I am clear that's the only thing I'm going to do. I'm not going to be all over the place. So going back to your question, a lot of people have that struggle to be clear where they are heading. And without that clarity, your foundation of the house is not there. So you cannot build anything on the top of that foundation. So clarity it's the number one things you have to do. Then when you build that strong clarity foundation, then you can start building the door and the window and the wall. That's your action. That's the action. Because you come to me and you said, for example, you said, I hire you as a coach and I want you to teach me how to be a speaker. So you gain the clarity. You know, you want to be a speaker. Great. So we got the clarity. So the foundation is here. Now you ask me what to do in order to be an effective speaker. I tell you action. Action is the building on the top of the foundation. And when I ask you what do you do to be a speaker, he said, I listen to Les Brown, Tony Robinson, and that's it? You just listening? Yeah, I'm trying to learn how to be a speaker. That's not enough. You have to start speaking. You have hands on. You have to start speaking, right? So that's your action. Now you train yourself to be a speaker. That's your action. The top is the grounding, is the roof, which is protect the foundation and the house. You keep doing persistence. You keep doing what you're doing. You keep doing it on. You never give up, because that's the roof which is going to protect your whole house.
Your analogies are so effective for me. I'm such a visual person, and I think
Yes,
it's so helpful.
it's
I
three
love this.
steps. The three
I love
steps:
it.
clarity, action, and persistence. You still have to keep doing on and
Yeah,
on.
and that's so appropriate for I mean, there's so many folks out there who are trying to start their business and just get it launched, and that clarity is so critical, isn't it? I mean, whether you're taking out a small business loan or you're applying to the Small Business Authority in your community or whatever it is that you're doing, you have to have some clarity about your vision and where you intend to go.
yes,
And
and
what
it's
steps
come.
and the steps that follow after that are driven by that clarity and that
Yes,
vision.
it's the first things. And the clarity happen normally when you speak so much about the purpose you want to achieve and having faith on yourself. Said, oh, now I'm clear. I want to be a writer. Great. And you celebrate that because you had a great purpose to be a writer, because since you were a teenage, you love to read very good books and you want to be one of those group of great writer. So you have a great purpose, you have a faith on you. Now you gain the clarity. I said, now it's time to take action. As a matter
Yeah.
of fact, Mira, it's apply even to the sport coaching. When I was coaching, swimming, you can tell someone, "Oh, I'm clear to be a swimmer." Okay, great. I can tell the person who is a student with me, teach them how to swim. Oh, you have to do the hands move this way. Your legs should be this way. No, I have to throw them on the swimming pool. So that's the action. I have to throw
Yes.
them on the swimming pool.
These
They
analogies
might,
are terrific.
I was like, oh my God. I said, yeah, now move your hands the way I told you. Because I can teach them by watching YouTube as it's how you use your hand, how you use your legs. That's good theory wise, but unless I threw them on the swimming pool, not want them to drown, but like making them to do the action.
Yeah.
Same thing with you. If you're telling me I want to be a speaker, I'm going to put you on a platform. I'm going to ask you to speak for 10 minutes. Because
Love
if
it.
you don't gonna do it, then you are not going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, this is awesome. So looking to the future, what trends or shifts do you foresee in the realms of technology and engineering and in your world, but also business strategy? And how can women entrepreneurs best position themselves to thrive in this future environment that's kind of evolving?
It is. Everything's changing in every second. Technology is like we blink and you open your eyes, another innovation happened, right? For midlife women, I'm speaking midlife because I'm over 50, so I see sometimes technology do scare a lot of women. Oh my God, AI, ChatGPT. Oh my God, there is app for everything. We should not be scared. I always encourage women to have the adoption, like adopt every new skills, adaptability. You adopt every trend coming your way. I'm not asking you to be as good as Elon Musk or anybody else on that, but I don't want you to be scared at it. I want you to adapt it. I want you to learn it a little bit. And incorporate it in your daily strategy, business, and day-to-day tasks. Because if you don't do automation and you don't do AI and you don't touch those area, it's like a train will pass you so fast. And that train will never come back to pick you up because that train goes so fast. That technology train, it's just past us. It doesn't even stop at any station. Maybe I'm saying
And
that because I
AI is
work for
just
Metro
evolving every day, isn't it?
every day. And I'm saying
Every day.
train, and I'm saying train is funny because I work for Metro, so I see train a lot. So I feel that technology is like a train. It just boom past you. It doesn't even stop to pick you up. You have to grasp that and say, let me learn a little bit about AI. Let me learn a little bit about ChatGPT. Let me use automative. Let me use some apps. This is not cheating. This is efficiency. This is you kind
It's
of
a
using.
powerful tool if it's used
It's,
correctly.
it's a powerful tool for efficiency, and also you saving time for innovation. So for me, when I use AI for certain things, I am sparing the time for innovating and curiosity. So I'm just building ideas. I'm letting those admin part done by technology. So the admin time consuming part done by the computer. Then I can sit down and think about the next book title. I can think about the next innovation idea. I can think about what is the entrepreneurship? What is the trend with women? I have time now to evolve. And I think Jack Canfield talked about it on the success principle. He said they found out uh, entrepreneur spend less than 30% of their idea because they are doing everything. They're doing the admin, they're doing sending email. Entrepreneur has to spend all their time on the ideas and solving problems. And we
Yes.
tend to be doing everything. We should not. We have to utilize and leverage the technology that we have today.
Thank you. Sairan, what is next for you? What's on the horizon for you?
Who asked me this question? I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was a Middle Eastern podcast. He asked me the question in Arabic. And I feel like I'm going to touch everything, every area that scared me to death when I was younger. I want to live my 50 like I just started. So anything scared me, anything was making me like, oh, no way I'm going that way. Oh, yes, way I'm going that way.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
That is so fun. You're such an inspiration and such a
Thank you.
joy. I've just
Thank
so
you.
enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you,
Tell
Myrrh.
us,
Thank you.
in addition to what the vision is for your future, what is there anything else that you want people to know about you, or anything else you'd like to share about your work?
Yes, for the sake of the audience, I mean, all the women and men who's listening to this episode, um, time is what you have. Try to utilize it in the right way. Don't wait for the right day. Don't wait for the right job. Don't wait. Don't keep waiting. Just do what you have in your mind. Start your business and your idea now. Have clarity in your hidden gem. Start a side business. Don't quit your 9 to 5 job. I'm not asking anyone to quit their job. I'm still working full time because I have 2 kids in college. And I'm just building a business that make me capable later on to leave the technology world and just do that business for living. But utilize time very wisely, because that minute we are speaking, it's just going to go away. Don't take those dreams with you to the grave. Don't reach to that point when you hit your 60s, said, oh, I wish, or if I did that, or I wish. That's such a painful statement to say to yourself, and you don't deserve that. You are capable. Do it, and do it now before you are ready.
I love that. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sairan, where do people find you after the podcast? How can we locate you? We find you on Instagram. What are your socials?
Yes, LinkedIn is my technologies, my engineering. For those who are a younger engineer who want to thrive in engineering, who want to learn new skills, who build their LinkedIn page and pursue more degree in engineering, they can find me in LinkedIn platform. And the other platform is my Instagram for finding your hidden gem, and for midlife, or just if you want to start a business, or for those coaches who hire me from ICF, they basically hire me to find their niche or helping them to find their niche. They can reach
Tell us
me at
your
Sairan Aqrawi.
Instagram handle. What is it?
Sairan Aqrawi is one word, my first name and last name.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Great. Well, it's
Thank
just
you.
been a pleasure having you on today's episode. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of She Means Business, Building and Scaling with Visionary Women. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, we're glad you joined us, and we hope you'll come back for the next episode of She Means Business, Building and Scaling with Visionary Women. Until next time.